Welcome, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today, we're going to get you those updated daily expected moves. And today, I did remember to do the IWM daily expected moves, and they have a pretty high amount of implied volatility. We got a pretty large amount of implied volatility going tomorrow, so we'll check what data is coming out today. I believe we got retail sales, but tomorrow we get something much more important, in my opinion. Now, we did see that volatility was calling an 85% chance for a down day Monday or Tuesday, and we have overall received that kind of down day. It doesn't mean it has to crash, but something that we know here is the 2 hour has not taken out these critical levels in here just yet, but it has been able to go into a positive trend. So we will be in that middle area where we do. Weirdly enough, even for this whole time in here, we've kind of had to pay attention to both directions and be reacting and taking profit at the right times. We're going to have to continue that today, but we have some big daily expected moves. So let's look into the signals. Let's get into that technical analysis and let's get started. So yeah, we're going to be going over the SPY, the QQQs, IWM, and then we'll get into volatility. Remember this, volatility can be great hints, right? We don't just throw volatility at the end to make the video longer. Volatility is something that I look at every single day, and I highly suggest you get used to its moves, and I'll show you some good levels that I like to watch for volatility as well if you're interested. I know I've showed them off plenty in this video. So what can we acknowledge? Well, let's just look at those daily expected moves. Are we going to be able to extend to that weekly expected move is pretty much what we want to figure out. Well, if we're going to hit that weekly expected move by the end of the week, then it's very rare that we will see this 2 hour curl down. So if the 2 hour curls down, it means we most likely need to test some buyers down in this area, take care of a gap, set some kind of divergence trap, or worst case, fall through the floor. So if the 2 hour chart does cross down, it's not necessarily bullish. You're really close to the center line for your MACD. This is the difference between in a positive trend and a negative trend, and you're right on that fine line. The last time we crossed through that line was when we saw that volatility come in. So we want to be very cautious here, and there's something on volatility on the 2 hour chart that we have not seen yet, so we need to be very prepared for volatility, for the potential to come in. What would cause volatility to come in? Well, this right here. If you really look at it, if you look at some of the most important data that I pay attention to, it's actually going to be this right here, non-farm payrolls, but especially this unemployment. Unemployment can tell you a lot, but that will be coming out before the market does open, about an hour before the open, just so you are aware. But once again, if the 2 hour chart does cross down on this MACD, then that is a problem. But as of right now, we're up on that, above that 5-day moving average. And we got to look at the 30-minute chart to see, do we have any hints that the 2 hour is going to rotate down? Big piece of data can shake things up. If the 2 hour crosses down, not necessarily a bullish thing, but we do have a daily expected move of 685.87, telling us, hey, we can pay attention to that area. The second standard deviation would take you potentially all the way down to a gap fill if you do get a surprise with that data. The upside move here being 698.37, so 2 hour crosses down, bad, and then this is your critical level, this is your other critical level, and the 30-minute will be where we can pay attention to things. We were suggesting that a 30-minute pullback is the most probable because the 30-minute is in such a positive trend. You took back the 5-day, further squeezing or pullback in some way would be very probable. A retest of the 5-day would be very probable. This is very nice, but we are looking for that 30-minute to get by that center line. So as of right now, we just talked about the 2 hour curling down is bad. Do we see anything here or anything here that really suggests, or even down here, do we see anything that really suggests that the 2 hour is going to rotate down right now? No. So if we did see a divergence or lower high, we could talk about those things. But as of right now, the 30-minute is going to need some time to tell you any kind of hint. And the truth be told, if we get some big data in the morning with unemployment surprising people, that could be a little bit of a problem. But the 30-minute is in such a positive trend that on the technical side, you have no reason to believe that 2 hour is curling down just yet. You have just done some great things. You have taken out those critical levels. The 2 hour failed to take out this level yet. That's unfortunate, but you are in such a positive trend on your indicator that all that has to happen tomorrow is you get a good little piece of data and the 30-minute curls up like this. You get a nice confirmation bar, and if it's really good news, you could stall out at that 698.37, your daily expected move. You want to watch out for divergences and things like that on the 30-minute chart because, yes, that could be your hint that the 2 hour is going to cross down. But if you're able to see some kind of squeeze and blow through that, the second standard deviation move, weirdly enough, would take you directly to this weekly expected move. So you're kind of right in the middle here where it's like if you get good data tomorrow, and the 30-minute curls up and you squeeze, you can go to the weekly expected move upside. If you get some bad data tomorrow and it's really bad, you go to the downside, but you see no inclination of that in the signals as of right now. Now we're going to go over volatility towards the end of this, but let's get through the Qs and IWM for you because volatility will be an interesting thing in itself on the 30-minute chart. It's just bundling up in this area, so we will go over that in a moment after we get through the Qs and IWM. Qs, very similar standpoint. Now, we really wanted, right? If you heard my video from this price action ending right here, I was like, you don't want this to roll yet. The Qs look the weakest. Qs would like to squeeze above that 5-day, and I really would like that to come up even higher and then come retest it. But we're not going up too much higher. The big deal here is your MACD is so positive. So once again, all the things for the SPY can follow the Qs here. You just have to realize that the Qs are in a weaker standpoint as of right now. But weaker doesn't always mean worse. Weaker sometimes means a little bit riskier, but a little bit riskier can be a better reward if you are good at trading it, if you have traded it for a long time. And if you understand that this 30-minute MACD is positive, and if that curls up here, then we're very likely to go to 619.22. And if you get a surprise and you get better information than you think, or than the market was expecting, then you can head up to 625.52, your weekly expected move. Around this area, you'll watch for divergences and things like that, but as of right now, if the 30-minute crossed up, that daily expected move would look pretty nice at 619.22. If we're going to keep collapsing, we would most likely come down to that 603.72 area. Around that time, you could sit kind of flat, maybe get a bounce, and then roll again. That would be a little bit of a problem. But overall, if the 30-minute even comes down to that line, and then you see it curl up into positive territory, if this is still really close to the center line, you're going into a positive trend, and it is highly potential to be a higher low. I just wanted to point that out. Very good from the 30-minute chart here. So the 2-hour chart is where you can notice why you have to be critical of the Qs, even more so than the SPY. We are not even bursting, we are not even breaking through that center point into positive territory. So if the 2-hour rolls down, you have to treat it like it can do what? Test the low and go make a new one. Now the Qs would suggest paying attention to what? Well, the weekly expected move would say, yeah, we can collapse down to here. That's within the probabilities for the week. But if we set up some kind of 2-hour divergence, I would be very ready to react. So we will watch for that. So if the 2-hour rotates down here, it would not be a bullish thing because you don't know if that divergence will be created. This actually would say if this curls down, then you're likely to test the low, go make a new one. We could head to that monthly expected move if we really wanted to. The big deal here compared to the 30-minute chart is your 2-hour is negative while your 30-minute is positive. So no, you don't have any 30-minute hints in a divergence or a lower high that the 2-hour is going to roll down. But if it did for whatever reason and you start to see a good confirmation on your MACD here, you want to be very cautious thinking that this is going to just whip right back around. You need to see that proven on the 30-minute chart. So if the 2-hour crosses down, let's simplify it. 2-hour crosses down, bad. 30-minute crosses up, good. Now, IWM, I mean, this is my theory of why. This is why I wrote that thing on Patreon last Thursday or Wednesday, suggesting that this was some kind of bear trap in some way, was because of IWM. Now, if you look at IWM on the 30-minute, you're going, whoa, that thing is positive, right? Very, very positive. It's going down into buyers right now. Is it done? I don't know. But if that curls up, then we're very likely to go to that daily expected move, 270.78 to the upside. You're within those buyers right now. You've tested them once, tested them twice, test them a third time. You better get off to the races or else you can see a little bit more aggressive selling, potentially down to your daily expected move of 261.54. That being said, if this curls up at any time, bullishness could come in. So you will look for that 270.78. If you look at the 2-hour chart, this is what I really wanted to talk about. Last week, even during the live show, we did a live show last week, you were hearing me say, if you take out 265, you're looking pretty. Now, something that we talk about a lot on this channel are, the shoulders that could have been. A lot of people think that a head and shoulders kind of just looks like this, right? But most of the time you will see a violation of the neckline and then come back and make it. So that will happen a lot of the time, or at least that's a lot better setup in my opinion, because what's going on there is it's showing you it can break through that level. It's getting into an extremely positive trend on your MACD. And then if you curl down, you could say, yeah, we're close enough that we could see something go negative here, but it is way more probable to carve out some kind of higher low and give you the left head and the right shoulder that could have been. Now, you don't want to take it out of there, but you would say these buyers all in here are good. So if you take the center point of about that, you would be looking at that kind of 258 to 260 area. But the daily expected move for tomorrow is suggesting 261.54. So that would be a critical level to watch. What am I overall getting at here? I'm getting at the fact that IWM gave us the reversal signal saying, hey, this could be a bear trap. We put it out there. I put my argument out there, and it ends up being a bear trap at this point. And it went so positive on your MACD. It went so positive with the price action above the 5-day that even if the 2-hour crossed down here, it would still potentially take another, after it crossed down, another like days worth of selling to really say that this thing is collapsing. The point here is you took out the previous level that was critical, and you could just, even if you turn down, come down and make that right shoulder that could have been. So overall, if the 2-hour curls down here, yeah, I don't necessarily want to be bullish on it just in case. But if that curls back up into positive territory, I don't think you're going to make divergence here. I actually think that this move right here will be the bigger one if we can get that pullback. But that's not guaranteed because we can just keep on squeezing, because that's exactly what IWM said to watch out for. Watch out for squeezes. Watch out for IWM to go in a positive trend. And now we see the future here, and the signals prove themselves. The price action proves it. We are in a positive trend for IWM. So let's go look at volatility, because it's good to wrap things up with volatility at the end to see, hey, is there anything risky going on, or at least something to pay attention to be like, hey, do I want to just maybe take my foot off the gas for a split second, maybe look for a pullback or something like that. Now, at the end of the day today, you were able to get a confirmation with the 2-hour chart, 2-hour confirmation. Now, we were able to sink deeper here, deeper into negative territory. This means that if we do get that 2-hour reaction that I've been talking about for a couple of days here, then we will most likely be getting a lower high from the chart. Now, do I want to act like I know the future and say that's going to be a lower high from the chart? No, I have to see that proven. So if volatility is curled up right now, I don't necessarily want to be bullish. That is why I put out on Patreon exactly how I was reading into this move, exactly the decision I made for the SPY, the calls that I was holding. And I overall suggested to myself, hey, I'm just going to sell a decent size of the position, make some money out of it, and then hold on to some in case we squeeze higher. And then if we pull back, I can add to the position later at that point. But that's to keep myself from being overexposed and take some profit while the profit is good. Perfectly fine, and that's why I put it out there. Now, the 30-minute here is going to be nice because it still hasn't rotated down yet. So even though the market was, down by 0.26%, not too much elevation from volatility, we did have reversal signals. It gave us some kind of down day. This is going to be heavily dependent on the data tomorrow, in my opinion. But if you see the 30-minute rotate down, make sure to watch out for that next little divergence point right around that 1683. These are some critical levels that I have kept for a long time: 2151, 20, obviously, 1683, 1504, and 1212. These areas prove to be critical levels where you want to watch for certain reactions. You will see a lot of things go on at these levels over and over and over again. I marked them off years ago, and I have used them ever since. Do not ask me exactly how or why. I just noticed that these levels really get tagged a lot, and you see a lot of price action around those levels. It doesn't mean you're always going to see it, but they are levels that I pay attention to. If this is curling up, you see that the 30-minute is trying to go positive. The 2-hour has confirmed. Yes, we're likely to get a lower high. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be bullish when volatility curls up. It's kind of like, why would I take a bullish trade on the SPY if I'm seeing something curl down? It just doesn't make sense. So is this a big warning sign? Is this a big warning flag? I wouldn't say just yet, but because we have not seen the 2-hour lower high, because we didn't get I would say, solid divergence on the MACD and RSI at the same time up in these areas, then you want to be very critical, because we technically have not gotten any kind of hint that says that this daily chart is going to cross down. We have not seen that just yet, so maybe we have another day or two of patience to be had here, but it overall does suggest that the more probable thing here would be what? A pullback. IWM is suggesting it, the VIX is suggesting it. We're going to be critical of 2 hours if they cross down. That's not a time to enter into a bullish trade, but it would say that most likely, even if this 2-hour curls down or if the 30-minute keeps going down, we would be able to catch ourselves, and we've done our homework to say, but if the 2-hour is crossed, and we don't necessarily want to be bullish at that moment. So hopefully this information was helpful to you. What you would really like to see here is this level broken. This would get price action on your side just for the end of the video. If you can break this level very cleanly here, and then you see that dump come in, that would be fantastic. That would be your left head and right shoulder that could have been. So I would really, really like to see some kind of move like that. I think that would be awesome, but I don't know if we're going to get it. So there's a lot to pay attention to going into tomorrow. Watch out for an hour before the open where we will get non-farm payrolls, we will get unemployment, but I hope that you guys were just able to take something helpful away from this video, and I hope that maybe these daily expected moves for the SPY, for the Qs, and for IWM do help you while paying attention to a little bit of volatility. Hey, thank you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and good luck trading tomorrow, but you don't need luck because you have the skills and you do what? You trade like water. All right, guys, peace out.